Have you ever wondered how everything started? How Earth, our home, came to be? Our story begins around 13.8 billion years ago, in the aftermath of a cosmic cataclysm, an event so powerful it gave birth to existence itself, the Big Bang. From this unfathomable explosion, the universe as we know it began to take shape. At first, all that existed was a primordial soup of gas and dust, swirling and churning in the vast expanse of space. This chaos, however, was not without purpose. Within its depths, a dance was unfolding, a cosmic ballet choreographed by the fundamental forces of nature. Enter gravity, the silent maestro of this cosmic symphony. Gravity is an unseen force, yet its role in the formation of the universe is paramount. Within the nebulous swirls of gas and dust, gravity began to weave its magic. It pulled together particles, drawing them into a tighter and tighter embrace. Over countless millennia, these particles began to clump together, forming dense regions within the nebula. As these regions grew denser, they started to spin, creating a disk-like structure. This was a protoplanetary disk, a cosmic nursery where stars and planets are born. Within one such disk, the seeds of our home were being sown. The particles within the disk continued to merge, their collective gravity growing stronger and stronger. Gradually, in the heart of this spinning disk, a planet began to form. This was not yet the Earth as we know it today, but its fiery, molten precursor. A world in the making, being shaped and molded by the relentless forces of nature. This, then, was the beginning of our story. A tale of cosmic proportions, stretching across billions of years. A tale of chaos and order, of destruction and creation. The tale of how a swirling nebula of gas and dust, under the influence of gravity, transformed into the planet we call home. Gravity, the silent sculptor, had set the stage for the birth of our planet. As the particles continued to collide and clump together, the young Earth began to take shape. It was a spectacle of unimaginable proportions, a fiery dance choreographed by the laws of physics and the relentless tug of gravity. The celestial canvas was painted with streaks of molten rock, a vivid testament to the planet's fiery birth. This nascent Earth was a world of extremes, a molten inferno where temperatures soared high enough to melt rock. It was an environment that seemed hostile to life as we know it, yet it was within this crucible that the building blocks of life were being forged. Imagine a world under constant siege. Asteroids and comets, remnants of the solar system's formation, rained down on the young Earth, their impacts melting and reshaping the surface. Each collision was a cataclysm, a testament to the raw power of the universe. Yet, these violent events were not just agents of destruction, they were also bringers of life. These celestial invaders carried with them the essential elements for life, including water and organic compounds. As they slammed into the Earth, they delivered these precious ingredients, seeding the planet with the potential for life. In this furnace of creation, the Earth was not just a passive recipient. Its fiery heart, a molten core of iron and nickel, generated a protective magnetic field. This invisible shield safeguarded our planet from the solar wind, a stream of charged particles from the sun that could strip away the atmosphere. The young Earth was a world in flux, a molten sphere being sculpted by the raw forces of the cosmos. It was a harsh and chaotic environment, yet it was this very chaos that set the stage for the emergence of life. In the heart of turmoil, amidst the constant reshaping and remolding, the most fundamental building blocks of life were taking shape. In the heart of chaos, the foundations of life were being laid. Over time, the fiery heart of Earth began to cool, setting the stage for the next chapter in its story. As the molten inferno subsided, a thin, fragile crust began to form. This was not a smooth, uniform layer, but a patchwork of rocky plates, fractured and glowing with residual heat. This crust was the canvas upon which a new narrative would be painted. As the crust solidified, the Earth continued its cycles of exhale and inhale, its volcanic lungs spewing out gases into the atmosphere. Among these gases was water vapor, a byproduct of the volcanic activity that had sculpted the Earth's surface. This vapor rose, invisible and ethereal, into the atmosphere where it began to cool. As the atmospheric temperatures dropped, a transformation occurred. the water vapor began to condense into tiny droplets, forming thick, heavy clouds that shrouded the Earth. These clouds, laden with moisture, became the vessels for a phenomenon that would forever change the face of our planet: rain. The first rain was not a gentle drizzle but a torrential downpour. The skies opened and a relentless deluge descended upon the cooling crust. As the rain fell, it began to erode the rocky surface, carving channels and ravines into the landscape. The water followed the path of least resistance, pooling and collecting in the deepest depressions. This process was not swift. It took millions of years for the rain to fill these basins, but eventually the depressions brimmed with water, giving birth to the first primordial oceans. These oceans were not the blue expanses we know today, but murky, roiling bodies of water, heated by the still cooling crust and stirred by the relentless winds. This was a monumental moment in Earth's history, a turning point in its evolutionary journey. With the birth of the oceans, the stage was set for the next act in Earth's tale. The relentless rains filled the depressions in the crust, giving birth to the first primordial oceans. Yet, the story of Earth's formation was far from over. The planet continued to evolve, shaped by violent forces. Imagine a world in constant turmoil, where towering volcanoes spewed molten rock, reshaping the landscape with each fiery outburst. Asteroids, too, rained down from the heavens, their impacts carving out vast craters and triggering cataclysmic events that further transformed the terrain. Amidst all this chaos, you might wonder, how could life possibly take root? But it was precisely these tumultuous conditions that were necessary for life's genesis. The heat from volcanic activity released gases, contributing to the formation of a life-supporting atmosphere. The asteroid impacts, on the other hand, brought with them the essential elements that are the building blocks of life. In the midst of this violent dance, the stage was set for the dawn of life.